I wanted to get into this because this was a big conversation on the Twitters. Brandel Chambly, who is a takesman. I mean, he has great takes and he has some questionable takes at times, but that's what he does. He creates takes. He was talking about the Players Championship and called it not just a major championship, but the best major in golf. Got some pushback. Phil Mickelson, I think, maybe his best tweet in about 2 or 3 years in terms of responding to that. But Patrick, one thing I've always said about the Players, and this is kind of my take for years on the Players Championship, is I think being the best of something is important. And I've always said the Players was the best non-major. And I thought when it sat in that space, that's when it was in its best existence. Like, I think about Duvall, coming down the stretch when he won, and your eyes were glued to the TV, and Tiger winning, obviously, with the big putt. Like, those moments mattered, and I thought it was okay to be the best non-major championship. Like, do you like this debate? Do you like this conversation, Patrick? Like, do you have takes on it as well, or do you just think this is a guy that, is kind of paid to rile people up?
First off, I am a huge Brandel fan. I think the guy just rocks in general. He puts in a ton of research from what I've heard. I know Johnson's a coworker of his in the past too. And so I am a number one first team Brandel Chambly fan. I mean, major championships and how they've been created throughout history have always been a little bit arbitrary, right? Like, people thought early on the Western Open should have been a major championship, and then there's the Arnold Palmer story, of course, flying over to the Open and kind of quote unquote creating the Grand Slam while drinking with a writer on a plane. And so I get it. Oddly enough, a colleague of mine in golf called me when this was happening, first to yell at me for wanting to roll back putters and go to blades only. Johnson, great to see that you're wielding one of those, although it did not look great on TV. It was awesome to see. And then he asked me about Gene Saracen's Grand Slam and if it really counts. I'm like, where is this conversation going? I'm trying to get out there right now. He's like, the Masters isn't what it was, right? Walter Hagen should be a Grand Slam winner. So all of this to say, I don't think the Players is to that level quite yet with the history. I don't think you can be a major championship when you're hosting a Creator Classic the night before the championship too. Shane, I know you're involved in that. I think that takes it back a little bit as well. And of course, the field isn't including all the best players in the world at the moment. So for those reasons alone, I am out. But I will listen to the other side of the argument.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Brandel made a great point in terms of what he was saying. And I mean, I'm with you on the take. I thought it was a great take. I mean, I thought it was an interesting take, if nothing else, Johnson. I mean, I think that's the point of doing TV for a living, is you're trying to propose something that gets people talking. And I thought this got people talking. We're talking about it right now.
It definitely got people talking, and Brandel is brilliant. I mean, he's so well prepared. He's the most well-read person I've ever been around. But I'm not a fan of this take. It seems like the PGA Tour put out something that said March is major, and then I almost wonder, is Brandel getting a little kickback for this? Because it just made no sense. The way he said he said it's the best major championship golf course as well. He said with the exception of the 17th hole. And I'm sorry, you think this is better than Shinnecock, better than Augusta, Pebble? I mean, there's a lot of great major championship venues that require these shot values he was talking about. So the Players is an unbelievable event. I've played in a lot of them. They treat us so well that week, and I love the golf course, the fans, everything about it. But it's like you said, be the best non-major there is, and they do it great year in, year out. The necessity to be called a major is infuriating.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know in the background some of the business reasoning why maybe the PGA Tour would want to push something like this. I get that part of it. But again, this thing is important. The winners as of late have been incredible when you go down the list. And I reached out to our boy Justin Ray. I know we have a graphic on this, but I just wanted to ask in terms of the average world ranking of the Players Championship winners since 2000 versus the other majors, and just get a feel for what that looked like. And of course, Jay Ray, as he does, went above and beyond. The Masters average world ranking since 2000, 13.5, which was the best. Here it is. You see the PGA, the worst in terms of those numbers. U.S. Open right around 20. Excuse me, the Open, the worst there at 34.5. But I thought it was interesting with the winners outside the top 50 in the world. The Players has 5 of those. And I mean, most of those really, really impressive players in terms of world ranking have come over the last 5-6 years with the recent run of winners at the Players Championship. But I just kind of was interested in what it looked like in terms of world ranking winners at this event versus the major championships. And I was honestly, Johnson, a bit surprised that the Masters kind of was hands down the best number there.
Well, I think it's got the most lure. It's got, I mean, you saw what it did to Rory McIlroy last year, the Masters coming down the stretch. I mean, you get way more Rorys and Tigers winning that tournament, and less Danny Willits and Charles Schwartzel. The Open Championship I can see, because I think Ben Curtis probably brought that down quite a bit. Maybe Todd Hamilton brought that world ranking down quite a bit, and just the variability of the weather and the conditions you can deal with lends itself to having more not flukes, but just lower world ranked players.
Patrick, if the Players eventually becomes a major, do the past Players champions, are they considered major champions? I guess that's my last question here.
Like, look, I would love Ricky Fowler to be a major championship winner, but we're not doing this. I will say this marketing push, to me, it feels like it's almost a page out of Live Golf's book, where if you listen to some of their broadcasts early in the day, and they talked about how historic some of these victories were in Riyadh and the laser show and all that stuff, it's like, guys, you are not doing yourselves any favor. The Players Championship rose to what it was during a period when the PGA Tour wasn't trying to make it a major. And I feel like they took a step back with this marketing push.
That being said, what are we talking about? The Players Championship and what we're 6-7. I mean, we've got plenty of time until we get to that event. So, I mean, if nothing else, the conversation is being had, and I think that's always important in terms of the takes